What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. I want to talk about some very key levels to watch for, and why SPY is holding some support so far that gives us some potential for a small bounce. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY in uninvested cash. The offer ends very soon in just 2 weeks. Anyways, let's talk about the market. So we had some data that came out. The bill auction just came out. This was very close to what we saw from beforehand, and this is not really causing too much volatility, but the market did hold up when this came out. Besides that, I just want to say that the majority of the industrial production data was very close to expectations. It wasn't too crazy, and the market did dip a bit only to get bought back up. So the question remains, what's going to happen from this point on? I want to talk about some levels to watch for. So starting off with the notorious SPY, I just want to say that there's a big divergence between SPY and ES. ES is like gapping up. It gapped up and it's like still holding its support, whereas SPY didn't really do that. It's, if anything, it gapped down, it started to dip, and now it's trying to get bought back up. So anyways, let's talk about the levels. So I wanted to say that SPY has a tendency, okay, of getting bought back up between 602 and 603. Every time we've hit this, we just keep bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. It even happened today. We hit the 603s, then we just bounced. But then when we hit 608, we tend to reject. It happened one, two, three, 4 times, right? We reject off 608. So we're holding the support right now. We're holding 603, and now we're getting bought back up. When you go this way, you guys can see there's a very tight channel that's developing. So this is like a pennant as we're going back and forth and back and forth. And we're holding support, which makes me suspect that there could be an attempt to try to get back up towards this upper trend line. There might be an attempt to bounce. Um, for now, we're trying to reclaim 605. As long as that holds, we could be looking for a bigger push. And we do have this gap to fill over here. So this is a pre-market gap around the 606 area. This makes me suspect there is some upside potential in SPY to try to push towards that. So there could be a bounce attempt from right over here. We might be attempting to get back up to the 606 area. There's going to be a lot of shuffling. The market is kind of choppy, and we might see a lot of shuffling near 605, but there is potential for that push to 606 to fill that gap, and then maybe even all the way up to this trend line. Just under 607 could be coming. So there might be at least a nice little bounce from here. That's the most likely case. As long as we hold this trend line, we'll be watching to see just to be safe. For ES, ES dips to about 61.20, then we got bought back up. We're looking for a test of 61.40. If that breaks, we could be looking for this high to be retested at 61.52. Now, I think we're doing a great job so far at holding up. We haven't lost our critical support to start filling the gap below, and there's potential for us to try to push for 61.40. ES, once again, is diverging from SPY. They're trading very differently right now, which is very unique and very rare, but for now, it's doing a good job. Even Nvidia is trying to hold its key support. So we saw this dump all the way down to about 126. We were expecting some kind of dump, but notice that we're seeing buyers defending 128. That was the main support from before, and now 130 is being reclaimed. So that's a chance that Nvidia could attempt to hold that. If we could close above 130 or hold it, there could be an attempt to get back up to 132. Let's see if 130 holds. I think we're going to see Nvidia shuffle here, but if it bounces, this could help the market to some extent. So keep that in mind. I'm seeing some potential in the share price. For Bitcoin, I think we're doing a pretty good job. Now, we have a tough resistance around 107,000. We need to try to break past that. Otherwise, there's going to be a risk of us dipping closer to about 105,500. So make sure you watch those levels. If anything, I think we still look a little bit more bullish. I think there is potential for us to try to get back up to about 107,000 plus. But I just want to say this, despite the fact that we had a wick here, I think that we're a little bit more choppy for now. So we're gonna be seeing a lot of choppy price action on 107,000. We could try to go higher later on. But like I said before, it's still kind of choppy for now. So I'm not really seeing much with Bitcoin. Now, Tesla is an absolute monster. This thing's been running like crazy, but because we ran so much, it's finally starting to see some tough resistance. Now, I think that Tesla has the potential to run a lot more later on, but for now, for the shorter term, it is starting to slow down a bit. We have a tough resistance at 480 where Tesla started to see not only some sellers step in, but it's struggling to hold above that, and now it's starting to struggle below 470 as well. So we're going to be looking for the 465 area. If it doesn't hold that, look for 460. And then if that doesn't hold, we could be dipping even lower back down towards all the way back down towards 458 or so. So there could be a dip that's coming to Tesla. I don't think it's going to be that major for now. I presume the most likely case is that we consolidate between 465 and 470. But there could be a small dip here. It is showing a little bit of weakness. I would still say that this is just a minor pullback. It's a pullback, excuse me. It's not the end of the world or anything like that. This is just a minor move, and there's going to be so much more upside potential later on. So don't worry too much about this. This is completely normal. For NQ, we called out 22,250 to be tested. We did touch that and then bounce. So now with this bounce coming, we could be attempting to hit not only new highs, but 22,400. I think we shuffled between 22,300 and 22,400 for quite some time, but we could attempt to push higher later on. For the QQQ, we look more bullish. We're going to be looking to see an attempt to get back up to 538. As long as we don't lose 537, this could attempt to bounce. So I think we're holding up very, very well so far. For others out there, we have Apple trying to push up. We're looking for an attempt to get back up to about 255. We're holding up 252 very, very nicely. So I see some more upside potential in this. I think we're doing a fantastic job, at least thus far. For others out there, we have the IWM Russell 2000. This is looking a little bit weaker. We called out 231, which is where we have been heading towards. Let's see if 231 holds or not. If it holds, we could attempt to rebound for 234, especially as we have the gap to fill above. But if we lose the support, we could be dumping all the way down to like the 228 area. So I think that as long as 231 holds, we could attempt to rebound for 234 and most definitely see the potential in this. For coin, we're just completely choppy right now around the 315 area. We could try to bounce back up for 325, but I don't really think that's the most likely case. I think that for now, we're just going to be very, very choppy, not really doing much. Amazon's looking decent. We dipped a bit only to get bought back up. So I want to see Amazon reclaim 232. If we could get back above there, we're looking for 235. If not, there's a risk of us retesting 230. So Amazon's still showing some strength. It's still holding up well, so we'll give this more time to develop. For other factors out there, we have Meta, which is completely range bound. Look at 628 as our resistance, then 620 is our support. We could attempt to push up higher for like 630, but I see a lot of choppy price action, so it may take a while for this to get that bounce, but there is potential for it to do so. Microsoft may be pushing for 456. It looks pretty good right now, looking more bullish. We will see how it reacts to that, but it's, like I said before, it looks bullish. Could be looking for 456. Google is going to be retesting 198. Unfortunately, we're not doing the best of jobs at holding above 200, so it's a tough area, and we have to give this more time to develop. Anyways, that's it for the main levels right over here. I just want to say that right now the market's holding up quite well. Tesla is showing a little bit of weakness after getting rejection off 480, but we could attempt to hold around 462 and 465, so I'm not really too worried about that. And if we do pull back a little bit more, it's completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary for Tesla. It could still bounce later on. But like I said before, ES and SPY are going to be the main ones I'm watching for the time being, because we are holding the support very, very well so far. Like I said, we had this channel. We were going back and forth independent. And for now, that remains. That's what SPY is doing so far. We're holding support. Notice how we came below this, then we just got bought back up. So buyers are still defending. And that just goes to show that we're getting tighter and tighter. There's going to be a big move after FOMC that's going to likely fuel whether we break out of this pennant or not. So I think we're just waiting for that. Otherwise, the market remains in this range. Anyways, that's it for my video. I'll be back in a couple of hours for another update. Until then, have a good day, guys, and peace out.